Welcome to All Things Possible TV. I'm Bill Barney, right? And today we have a fun episode, and I'm not sure what to title it. I want to be an energy healer, and where do I start? Or could it be, I'm already an energy healer, I'm doing lots of fantastic things, but I want to add more tools to my toolbox. I want to add more healing modalities and be able to bless people at a greater level. If that fits you, stay tuned. This is for you. You can get all kinds of information at our website, and here it is on the screen, www.allthingspossible.biz. Click on the healing page, and you can get all kinds of information there, as well as many of the other things that me and my sweet bride are doing. And when I say bride of 32 years, that we're doing in this business. So let's get right started, and I want to ask you a question. Have you been exposed? Now when we hear that, we go, oh my gosh, have I been exposed to what? Is there a new disease? Is there a new epidemic coming out? You know, what is that? And we tend to, it instills a lot of panic and fear. And when we think of exposed, you know, we just receive a small dose of something, and then it gets inside of us and it starts to grow and multiply and mutate and do all these things. And pretty soon we've got a full-blown disease or a big problem, right? Well, there's another side to that coin of being exposed, and you can be exposed to positive things, okay? We can be exposed to positive people. I love being exposed to sunlight. Just go out and enjoy the sunlight, and remember that first time when you're exposed to first love. What an exciting feeling that is. And specifically today, what I'm talking about is, have you been exposed to energy healing, to energy medicine, alternative healing, call it what you want. Have you received just a small dose and it's starting to just kind of stir around somewhere deep in your chest, and you just feel that stirring? It's like, this is for me. And if that's you, stay tuned. Keep going. I've got some great stuff here. I was first exposed a long time ago. I'm not a young man, okay? But I was exposed clear back in 1975. My father had chronic back problems and had to have several surgeries and was taking a lot of medication just to cope with the pain. My mother began looking and searching for different ways to help him feel better and to deal with the pain and even heal at a greater level. And she first got me started on energy healing, on doing pranic healing, reflexology, and things like that, clear back in the mid-70s. I was just a pup. I was a teenager at that time. And I started learning these things, and it just I became passionate about it. It's just one of those things where I couldn't get enough. So anytime I heard about some new energy healing technique, you wouldn't believe the gadgets that I bought over the years that are, you know, energy healing stuff. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. But it's just been something that's been fascinating to me over this past journey of 40 years, where I've devoured, I've studied dozens and dozens of books. I've been to hundreds of hours of seminars, and actually I counted them up, over 1,300 hours of training in seminars and workshops to learn all different kinds of things about energy healing. I've worked with several masters of healing in different areas over the years. Dr. Bradley Nelson, I've gotten certified in body code and emotion code. I've worked with Jerry Tennant with the Scanar method, Sam Silva with the Silva method, and so many of these things that a lot of people haven't even heard of, and there's so many different energy healing modalities. But over the years, I gathered all these things and let people know, because I really felt that my true purpose was much more than what I had been doing to that point in my life, that this gift was greater than myself, that I needed to share that with the world and share that with other people as well. And so here I am now, doing a lot of healing with people and teaching people. And I found that a lot of people have come to me and said, how do I get started? How can I learn more? And so this is part of my purpose, to work in this field of energy healing. And I felt that even as a teenager. And I've noticed a big shift on this planet and a big change in this world over the last, especially the last 2 or 3 years, that it's kind of went along and just going, and all at once it's shooting up like this. And we're really hitting that momentum of curve where everybody's kind of cool to talk about energy healing, and I was one when it wasn't cool, right? But people are interested in it now. They're open to it. They don't think that it's voodoo or something like that. They're more open to the realities of things that we can't see. And so there's a lot of people getting involved in this movement, and we need a lot of people. This planet needs to be healed. We need to heal all of the hearts of the wounded and the weary, so to speak, on this planet. There's just, imagine if everybody got rid of all the junk inside of them, that emotional, the anger, the hate, and the sicknesses that we carry inside of us. Imagine what this planet would be like if we could all live like that. And I see a great movement of that, and I want you to be part of that movement with me and with other healers. And so how do you get started with that? But first, let me talk about your mission. You know, and I don't know what your mission, and I think that as we go through life, you know, we can have a mission here, and then a mission here, and then, well, anyway, as we go on, we have different times where it's important for us to raise a family, and different things. But there is a time, and for each one of us it's individual and different, where we really feel like we're doing what we came here to do. And so if you're that person that has just felt that inkling, you've got infected or exposed to energy healing, and feel like that's for you, and are wanting to move forward with that, that's a beautiful thing. But can you imagine what it feels like? You know, you're in that state of confusion, but imagine what it's like to be part of a healing miracle, to have somebody come to you with their broken heart, and then be able to sit down and even on the phone and do a healing session with them for half an hour, for an hour, for whatever that length of time is, and to have them say, that totally changed my life. And then as a healer, we always remember to say, but I didn't do the healing. It comes from above. I'm just a facilitator. But I can tell you there's nothing more gratifying than that feeling, to know that you've been part of a miracle and part of changing somebody's life. Pains and sicknesses and things that they have carried throughout their life, and the emotional pain and the broken hearts and the abuse and the addictions and the depression and the anxiety and all and all of these things that are such a heavy weight that we carry in the world. Imagine being a part of the release of letting that go. Imagine being able to do that for yourself. Imagine what it would be like with your children, with your siblings, maybe even your parents, to help them to let go of that junk. Your loved ones, your friends, and beyond that, to complete strangers that you attract to you as a healer, that you can go and be part of the miracle. But I can tell you, it's a beautiful feeling to know that you're doing what you're supposed to do, that you're on your dime, so to speak, and that you're fulfilling your purpose. And for those of you who feel that call, I want to help you to feel that at a greater level. So as a healer, I've worked with many people that came to me with their own personal issues. Of course, the first person I got really good at working with was myself, because as healers, the first thing we have to do is clean out the pipes, clean out ourselves, so that we can become a more open and clear conduit for that information, for that energy to come through, to pass it on to others. And I've worked with a lot of people to help heal themselves emotionally and physically. And then I've started attracting people to me who come to me as other healers, people who want to get started, people who are already very experienced, certified, and very accomplished healers that have worked and mentored with me to want to go to the next level. So I want to share with you just a few comments, if you'll forgive me reading, a few comments from some of the people that I have worked with. And I'll just share 3 of them really quick. This is from Jelena Rader. In the very first session with Bill, I felt connected to the Spirit, my angels, who were helping me. As a healer, he helped me see how to incorporate my Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, and angels more effectively in my work. He introduced me to new techniques and processes from his own information gathered over the years. I'm grateful for these tools. I find myself more likely to trust that I am merely an instrument in God's hands and not the other way around. If you are looking for a new perspective and techniques, I highly recommend working with Bill. He's personable, filled with so much love, and he makes it easy to learn and helps you want to grow your gifts. Thank you, Jelena, for doing that. and share just a couple more. This one's from Michael Allen. This is quite an interesting and amazing man. Did a couple of tours in Afghanistan, and come back with a lot of PTSD, and became a healer himself to help him and his friends and the people that he knew that was suffering from this. This is what he had to say after working with me. There are some things you just can't get from reading. As a professional healer with certifications in hypnotherapy, Reiki, breathwork, light therapy, and zonology, I've spent my life reading and learning techniques and procedures to help people overcome trauma, phobias, and really anything they want to change their lives. Like I said, there are some things you just can't get from reading, and it takes hands-on experience and explanation. Bill Barney was the key to getting those things that I was missing from my years of study. It was amazing how fast Bill was able to put the simple techniques and tools into my hands to help others. Bill is one of those people who genuinely cares about others and their process in healing, and wants others to have tools and techniques to truly heal. As a veteran and an owner creator of Warrior Healing, I have found Bill's instruction to be key not only to my practice but also to my own personal healing. My only regret in working with Bill is that I did not find him sooner. That's Michael Allen. And one last one. I met Bill at an energy healing conference in Utah and was immediately drawn to him as I walked past his booth. I introduced myself, and with my permission he gave me some quick insights to some of the things he was seeing in my energy field. I knew right away he was intuitive and knowledgeable and very sincere in wanting to help others. So I set up some sessions to do work with him on the phone. In addition to helping me clear some more trapped emotions, he shared some of the healing modalities that he works with and gave me information about how to use some of the ones I had recently been introduced to. Bill showed me how to work with the emotion code and the healing code, as well as other modalities that I have worked with for a long time. As an intuitive healer and Reiki master myself, I found Bill to be very generous in sharing his knowledge and tips about these modalities and others. He taught me how to use muscle testing as a more effective means of finding the root causes. He has become a mentor to me, and I also continue to work with him for some of my own emotional release work. I am extremely choosy about who I allow to work with me on an energetic level, and Bill is the real deal. Denise Nygaard. So I've been very grateful and very blessed to work with some very powerful people, and I appreciate those who would share the kind words. But it's the thoughts of their hearts. And so what I've done is I put together a very simple get started or quick start healing program, a mentoring program, because there are so many things. You can spend thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours to learn one single healing technique, and those can be amazing, and they're a good value and a good deal. But do you need to spend thousands of dollars and wait a year or two to get started? And I'm going to tell you that no, you don't. With some of the things that I've discovered over the years, I've discovered several techniques to help heal in a very quick and short amount of time. And then as you have a toolbox to gather from, and you have several different options when somebody's working with you on a certain problem, then you can take the time after you get started and you can add to it some of these other things that are more extensive, where it requires a big investment of time and money, and get that training and those certifications if you choose. But this will get you started. If you've already got a bunch of certifications that you see from the people that have worked with me before, you can add to that and just become that much more of a blessing to the people that you work with. I work with people to help them find their unique gifts and talents, because I don't believe everyone should do one particular healing modality or the same set. I believe we all have our own very unique and personal gifts, and I assist and I help people to find out what their unique gifts are, so that they can then share them with the world and be their blessing that they are to the world. You can go to my website and get more information on that course, and contact me through the information there on the website to get more information about it. But with this Healer's Journey course in energy medicine, there's 6 online courses where you can study these courses online. There's 6 segments: grounding and protection, a way to ground yourself and to protect yourself from energies. One, so that you don't pick up junk from your clients, because it's very easy to pick up junk from your clients or deplete your own energy. And if you don't know what you're doing, you get very tired and you get very frustrated. as you do the energy healing. The next one is dealing with foreign entities and energies. We know there's angels, there's a lot of good energies, a lot of light in this world. Well, there's some dark things that work against us too. And as a healer, you will notice that. And I teach people how to simply and effectively detect that, and then how to clear it real easy, get it out of the way, and then go on to healing. But that can be a big hindrance in the healing work that we do. One of the first things that I let people learn is a good, effective method of muscle testing, so that they can then tune their intuition from there and get to the root causes. Find out what the person's individual subconscious mind is saying is the root cause of what's going on with them. And then help you develop the 5 higher senses of your intuition. Teach you how to work with angels and the divine to bring them in. And then there's some reprogramming techniques that I teach. But I talked about, there's a whole handful of these simple techniques that I can teach people in. Most of the times it doesn't take more than 30 minutes to teach a technique. And beyond that, they get 5 hours of personal healing and mentoring with me. Just let me tell you one quick story of how powerful these techniques can be. We was camping for a weekend camp out in the desert here about a month ago, and there were some friends that came out, and they brought a little girl with them, and she was very shy and timid, and had kind of a hard life. And as we got there, she'd never been around a campfire or camping or anything before, and we had our tinfoil dinners, and then they got out the marshmallows and the chocolate and the graham crackers, was going to make some s'mores. And somebody made a reference about a cousin of hers that had got burned in a fire the year before. And this little girl went into panic mode. She started crying and really panicked. Took her little chair and went about 30 yards off into the distance, out in the dark. You couldn't even hardly, out away from the firelight, and wouldn't come any closer. And her mother was trying to talk her into coming up to the fire, tell her she was going to be okay. And she was panicked and she was crying. She didn't know who I was. They just says, "Hi, that's your friend's dad." And, she just knew me as some guy at the fire. And I walked back there and I says, "Hi, sweetie." I says, "Are you afraid of the fire?" And she was crying. And she says, "Yes, I'm going to die, I'm going to burn," whatever. And I says, "Can I touch your hand?" And her mom assured me that it was okay, for this strange man to touch her hand. And I says, "You're afraid of the fire?" And she says, "Yeah." And I didn't say anything else. I just let her sit there and cry, and I did something like this. Okay. Now this looks like very simple, but there's some very specific things that I'm doing as I do this. And I did that. It took less than 60 seconds. I didn't say a word to her while I was doing this. I just did that for a few rounds on each hand. I says, "Okay, I'm going to go back to the fire. We'll see you." And I swear to you, that little girl beat me back to the fire. I got up and I told her mom, I says, "Just let her be. Don't say anything to her. Just let her do whatever she wants." I swear she beat me back to the fire, grabbed a marshmallow stick and stuck it in the fire, and stood there by the fire with the rest of the kids without a second thought all evening long. And of course her mother could not believe what just happened, and it was really hard for me to explain to her that it was a reprogramming technique. Okay, I didn't have to talk to her or ask her any questions. That's how simple some of these methods can be of healing. And there's things that I've learned from others, there's things that I've developed over the years. But that's what I like to share with people, to get started and then help them develop their gifts. For those who do this course with me, at the end of that course, when they've completed their assignments, they will get a certificate similar to this, which is a certificate of completion. And it's something that will give them added credibility and validation to go ahead and start, if they haven't started, doing this on a bigger level and taking their gift out into the world and sharing it with more people. So I invite you to check that out if that's something that interests you. If it doesn't interest you, I'll bet you haven't made it to this part of the movie anyway. So if you're watching this, you're probably interested in that, or you're super bored. Anyway, here's our information again, www.allthingspossible.biz. Go to the healing page and get some information on this course. Get my contact information. Email me, bill@allthingspossible.biz, and tell me you're interested in the next course we got coming up, and we'll let you know what that is and how that can work for you. So, God bless you, and welcome to the world of healing. Thank you.